Welcome back to Capital Market on Saturday, where there's no trading, but only analysis on the backstories of those numbers that were traded or that crunched the market this week. As we coast home, let's spend the rest of these 7 minutes now looking at a new kind of structured fund introduced into the capital markets this week, not by regulators, but with their backing, and of course by operators. We're talking about the target date mutual funds or life cycle funds. Balahoino of Kodos Capital is here to tell us more about this. Kodos Capital seems to be the only one having this kind of fund right now. But the reason why we need to look into this structured fund is because this is the very first of its type in the market. Regulation, certification to carry out this kind of activity in the market is key for us. And so let's look at how, why you're able to come up with this at this point in time. How does it differ from the existing investment schemes, mutual funds that we have in Nigeria right now?
Thank you, Temple. Very good question. So like I said, they're called targeted mutual funds. And I think very important, two words, target date fund. And it's novel in Nigeria, so we don't have any mutual fund that's target date. But abroad is massive in the US. And of course, we saw a big increase in targeted mutual fund in 2006 when we had the auto enrollment plan in their pension plan in US. Basically, in Nigeria, most times people just look at short-term investment. But targeted mutual fund helps you invest towards a particular goal. So everybody has goals. You want to buy a house, you want to get married, you want to go to school. And sometimes you don't know how to structure your investment. And a key feature of targeted mutual funds that helps you to hedge against inflation. Okay. So they are called life cycle fund, like you mentioned.
In other words, it reacts to inflation positively.
Yeah, it gives you a positive return on inflation. So like I said, they're called life cycle funds. And of course, you go back to biology when you talk about life cycle. So you look at the egg, the pupa, the larva, the butterfly. And each stage of the life cycle, there are different characteristics. So also in human beings as well, we have different stages of our life cycle. The younger you are, the more risk you can take. By the time you start getting to retirement, you have to look at capital preservation, you have to look at income. So targeted mutual funds are structured in a way that, depending on the number of years you have towards achieving a particular milestone or fund, the fund is structured in a way to help you achieve that and basically hedge against inflation. So really, all mutual funds have different asset classes, but for targeted mutual funds, they are balanced funds. So that means they have money market, they have equity, and they have bonds. In the beginning of the life of the fund, it has more exposure to equities. Okay. Yeah, and because of the characteristics that equity has, equity is always, like I said, outperform other asset classes over a long time period. I did a bit of research and I looked at different instruments over a 6-year period, and most of them gave a negative return on inflation. So inflation for about 6 years was 11%. If you look at your deposit rate, it was 2%. Treasury bill was about 10%. But the NSE All-Share Index had about 13% over a 6-year period. We gave you a positive return of 2%. So targeted mutual fund helps you achieve that positive return on your investment. So just imagine you're saving money. At the end of the day, your money does not worth anything. But with targeted mutual funds, your money worth something because you are outperforming inflation. Also, it gives about diversification. Like I said, there are 3 asset classes. And really, asset classes have characteristics as well. They don't always move in the same direction. You might see some moving up, some coming down. So that helps you to balance or reduce your risk profile. So basically, it helps you to hedge against inflation, helps you to plan towards a goal at the end of the day. So for instance, World Cup is going on. You might want to go to Qatar. You might invest in the targeted mutual funds.
So what you're saying in essence is that during this period that you're investing, that an investor is investing in it, it means you're not getting any dividends. It's just there accruing in terms of interest for you.
Yeah, so that's the unique thing about the fund. So you can earn return 2 ways. So one is income, one is capital appreciation. So the fund is going to pay income annually in terms of dividend, and of course capital appreciation as well, because you're investing in assets that can grow. So 2 ways. So there's annual dividend income and also capital appreciation.
So being the first of its kind in the country, where did we get regulation from? SEC, from NSE, or from who?
So SEC regulates all mutual fund. Okay. And like I said, this is a mutual fund. It's a massive industry abroad. It's a $1.1 trillion industry as I end of 2017. But of course, it's started to gain ground in Nigeria. And it's very important. So just look at an athlete, for instance. The same way if you're a sprinter is different from when you are running for marathon. If you're a sprinter, you're looking at speed, you're trying to be the fastest, but marathon endurance is key. And that's what targeted mutual fund does for you. Money market investment is more on liquidity, more on capital preservation, more on income. But when you're trying to look at investment that are going to outperform inflation, you have to look at investments that have a long-term horizon. And that's what targeted mutual fund will do for you.
Did the SEC provide some kind of hedging for this at its own end in case there's any failure, in case there's any mishap in the future? Thank
you. That's a very good question. So in Nigeria, mutual funds are one of the safest kind of investment vehicles that you have. And one is because of the structure of mutual fund. Okay. So all mutual funds are regulated by the Securities and Exchange Commission. So their fund managers are managing investments. But the fund does not belong to the fund manager. They just manage it. Every unit holder owns the fund. So apart from the fund manager, we have trustees. Trustees are the ones that ensure that you play according to the rule. You follow the trust deed. You have custodian as well. So every of the fund assets resides with the custodian. It doesn't reside with the fund manager. So there's no issue of commingling of assets. So in terms of mutual funds, they are very, very safe. Even if a fund manager goes down, a mutual fund can never go down. What will happen is that the SEC will take the fund and give it to another fund manager. So in that regard, the SEC has, they've done so well in terms of safety of mutual funds.
So there should be no apprehension investing in this. Well, let's look at the tenor and listing in terms of, say, I want to make exits. What do you have there?
Yeah, so at the moment, we have two, we call them milestone funds, and there are two. One is 5 years, one is 10 years. It doesn't mean at the end of 5 years, the fund stops to exist. It just means that 5 years, the fund's asset allocation becomes the most conservative. So by year 5, we're going to have most of the fund in money market and fixed income. So the gains that you've had in equity will be captured. Right. So going on from year 5, you'll be looking at income and capital preservation. So yeah, so if you have a goal of 5 years, like I said, you want to build a house, you want to go to work.
That's what you look at.
Yeah, you can look at 5 years.
In terms of listing, are you considering listing it?
Yes, so we are going to list. Yes, looking at 2 listing, memorandum listing on the NSC and of course on the FMDQ.
And the FMDQ as well.
Yeah.
Bola, head of investment at Quadras Capital. Thank you for making it down to Capital Market again. We appreciate your time.
Thank you.
On that note, that's the show for this weekend. Thanks for watching. I'm Temple Ashaju. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.